Hello there. My name is Arnel Madrazo. I'm a teacher blogger. So if it's your first time to join me in my channel, I'd like to personally welcome you and please do subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and even share. Uh, other than book review, I'm also doing the teaching of thesis writing. It's a series of lectures that I'm doing on basic academic writing. At times, I also do reaction videos on music, and at times I'm also playing ukulele and doing some basic music singing in my channel. But really, the major contents that I'm doing are book reviews and academic writing. I mean, the teaching. So for this particular blog, I'm going to do a book review on the Brethren, written by John Grisham. So John Grisham is a former lawyer and a former member of the House of Representatives, Mississippi, and that in terms of writing style, he has this wide range of vocabulary and discourse on politics, on the branches of government, executive, judiciary, and the Congress, no? Upper and lower house. And he would be writing more on the law and order. He would also be writing about thriller, suspense type of storyline that would focus more on uh, crime, at times conspiracy theory in politics, no? And my first novel that I read on John Grisham was A Time to Kill, and that he showed his wide range of vocabulary and discourse in the court procedure. So given that he was a practicing lawyer before, he has really this keen uh, observation of the processes involved in court. And of course, he has this ability to really present a case on issues like death penalty involving racial discrimination. And that is where I got to really appreciate the work of John Grisham. He has written a lot of novels, The Firm, Pelican Brief, and a lot others that were turned into a motion picture. And so for this particular vlog, let me just focus on critiquing the Brethren. So let me start with the gist of the novel. It's a story of the three judges who were convicted of doing crime in the society. One judge was sentenced because of money laundering. Another judge was sentenced because of his accidentally killing a couple because he was under the influence of alcohol. And then the other one was as well on money matters. No, so they were convicted, and then they were incarcerated in a prison where it was not really that high risk in terms of security. So these judges, while they were in prison, thought of a scam. They thought of a blackmail strategy where they posted an ad, and then this ad was targeting homosexuals, and that with the homosexuals who are married and who are unhappy, old homosexuals. And so it seems like, my first critique here is that um, the author was really stereotyping homosexuality because, heterosexuals like straight male and female, or straight males and females, could also be targeted for this scam, right? But why single out homosexuality and equate it with immorality? Because the blackmailing occurs when the homosexuals will establish correspondence, no? With a character they created in their letters, uh, and that character, that fictitious character they invented or they created, will now uh, blackmail if in case there's already that ongoing relationship. And so where is the blackmail? They will be blackmailing the homosexuals because they have families, they have wives, children. So that's really the scam. Now my question is, why single out on homosexuality? And it's as if in this novel, really, the secret of being homosexual is like immorality. That's why they are willing to pay uh, for hundreds of dollars just to keep that secret, right? That's to keep that secret not to be disclosed. The question is, why single out on homosexuals? Uh, the second is, in terms of page 206. So in page 206, I noticed that, you know, with the two agents of the CIA, so there's the CIA is uh, the main part of the main characters here would be the CIA, the agency, because uh, they were really rooting uh, for Congressman Lake, who was the main character as well. In that, uh, Congressman Lake was chosen by the CIA to be the presidential candidate, their presidential candidate. So at this particular for this particular novel, they were already uh, on the campaign for the nomination in the party, and that the CIA has to protect Lake. It so happened that in this novel, really, the author was effective in trying to present two worlds. The first world or scenario, the first world will be that of the CIA and the presidential candidate Lake. And then as a reader, you really have to try to find out what's the connection between Lake, the presidential candidate, and the the, the judges who were scalawags, right? Who were, creating this blackmail attempts. And so these judges had victims already. And so in page 206, it seems like the the agents, the has already CIA has already detected that there's a problem, and the problem was their presidential candidate was communicating with that scam, right? So in this novel, it seems like Blake was part of that scam because he he fell, no? He fell into the trap of the judges, no? And so in page 206, the agents went to a victim who was a banker, and so they were trying to get more information as to how this scam worked. Okay, my next critique would be page 206, the use of photocopy machine. So given that the CIA would be part of the main characters, no, members of the CIA, the agents were part of the main characters here, supporting the candidacy of Blake, who was running for president. The CIA here are really protecting Lake because they were the ones pushing for his candidacy in order that they will have increased budget for the military in order to prevent the aggressive uh, war intention on the part of the Russians, right? So that's basically the point of why they were supporting Lake. Now, what is problematic in this page, in page 206, would be the use of photocopy machine. Given that they sent two agents to investigate a victim, a banker, and so that banker was a victim of Ricky, the fictitious character of the judges. So Rick, that banker is a homosexual who was married, and that he was blackmailed, and he already paid money, big sum of money to the judges, right? And so what? The two agents offered uh, money uh, in exchange for the letters and all pieces of evidence that Ricky, no, the fictitious character, was sending the banker, since he already paid some of money because he was protecting his dignity as a married man, but then he was homosexual. So my question is, why the need to look for photocopy machine? Uh, because the banker wouldn't want to photocopy the letters in the office because of privacy reasons, and so the agent would still need to go downstairs and look for the photocopy machine. The question is, can CIA produce a digital camera in order to capture or copy the letters and other pieces of evidence? given that CIA is really high tech in terms of their facilities and tools, right? Which is inconsistent with another lines here in this novel, showing the high tech stuff that they're using. For example, one agent infiltrated the prison, bringing his digital chip, and that digital device can be used as a telephone, right? So I think that's the inconsistency here. Why use photocopy? Why does an agent need to go out of the bank and look for photocopy machine, where in fact they can produce a digital cam? So this was published in year 2001. And remember, digital camera was introduced in the market 1975. So why can't they produce a digital camera that can easily capture the letters and other pieces of evidence uh, that was supposed to be taken from a banker? So, as you know, in an investigation like this, time is of the essence. The reader is drawn more on the drama of the individual uh, judges, no, the individual scenes or the lives of the judges, rather than the supposed to be the drama in politics. So I don't know if it was intentional, but as a reader, I'm more into reading. I don't know if it was really done intentionally. That as a reader, I am more into reading the details of the judges, even if they were incarcerated, even if they were convicted criminals. Yet I still want to find out what happened to them in their previous lives, right? Now, talking about drama, I don't feel the drama, even if one instance in the novel where uh, CIA created a mess, created the bombings in Cairo in order to justify their candidates' platform, which is actually to go after terrorists. And so, with this creation of chaos, uh, in this novel, the victims were the innocent Americans. And so, there was a scene here in this novel that, with the coffins, uh, being presented already to the families, no? uh, the coffins that were deplaned, no? And that the families were there. It seems like I don't feel the drama. It's like I'm just watching a news or reading a news rather than really feeling the drama that is happening. I don't know why, but maybe it's the tone that the author is using. I think I have drawn closer to wanting to know what happened to the judges, right? Now, in this novel, it is not clear as to who the protagonist is because all the characters here would have dark side. Lake has is hiding something. Could be his sexuality, right? It could be his sexuality because he was chosen by the CIA because accordingly he was really honest. He was clean. He doesn't have any corruption in him. He is incorruptible. The CIA is not even the the protagonist. Why? Because they are creating a mess. They are the reason for the bombing in Cairo. How is it possible they want to prevent war and yet they are killing fellow Americans just to ensure that the platform of their candidate is justified? Because they need to create a scenario in order to push for bigger budget in the U.S. Air Force. So, and then the judges, of course, they cannot be the protagonists because they are criminals, right? But then, as a reader, when you're reading this, it's not clear who are the protagonists because all the characters are with dark side. It seems like, in reading this, all of them have their own dark side, and that it's very difficult for the reader to decide as to what will happen at the end. So who will appear as the hero, right? Who will appear as the good guy? So the good guy and the bad guy, it seems like they are all seemingly good with good intention. Like for the judges, they would want to have a second life, be reformed. But then, I cannot also consider them as protagonists because in the first place, they are extorting money from the homosexuals. And yet, as a candidate, a presidential candidate, if he will be hiding his homosexuality, in this book, it seems like homosexuality is immoral. and hiding from the public that he's homosexual, it seems like he's immoral, right? He is hiding something. So all of them, CIA, the presidential candidate, and the convicted judges, they're all antagonists. It seems like, the public, the innocent public here, would appear to be the protagonist that will have to be protected, the American in the world, right? Next is so the reader is hooked on trying to figure out the connection between the politics, the Congressman Lake, the CIA. What's their connection with the judges? And so you keep on reading, you keep on reading, you keep on reading, and you want to find out what really is the connection. But towards the middle, I was already able to predict that perhaps this presidential candidate has been communicating with Ricky, who was a fictitious character that the judges created so that they will be able to blackmail this old, unhappy homosexual. Okay, so the only question would be what will happen at the end? Who will appear to be the good guy and as well the bad guy? So there were assumptions. So there's the predilection to assume that uh, the following might be the possibilities in terms of ending. I'm clear. I was clear that Lake, the presidential candidate, the congressman, uh, is hiding something. So he is not the guy that they thought he was in terms of telling the truth because he's hiding something. So perhaps I was hypothesizing that maybe he is a homosexual. But even then, if he was, then he wasn't married, right? He wasn't married, but he was hiding something. He was really hiding his sexuality. And that the only thing here is that it seems like the CIA cannot be the good guys because they are creating a mess. They are the reason for the bombings in Cairo, and then they are killing fellow Americans in order to push their agenda, right? So again, I'm thinking if the brethren here would be the main characters, the possibility of being caught. So here is my prediction. I think the judges will be caught. They'll be they will be penalized again for their wrongdoing. That's my prediction. So they will be penalized for their scam, and then Congressman Lake will win the election. You know why? Because CIA early on was able to detect. They were able to intercept these letters. So I know that CIA has the resources to really protect Congressman Lake. And so my first prediction would be Congressman Lake will be the president, and then the CIA will be able to really uh, catch them. The judges will be able to catch the judges, apprehend the judges of, I mean, to really uh, find evidence in order to let them stop whatever they're doing. So that's a possibility, but it could also be a possibility that uh, the judges, I was thinking the judges will be Lake, uh, exposing Lake's secret, and that perhaps they would be really having a battle with CIA, right? But then, being that they're in prison, the only thing here is that in terms of intelligence, they can level off their intelligence, their strategies, their strategic plans, no? With the CIA because they were uh, former judges. They're very wise. But in terms of the payment of money for their extortion, I don't think it's possible without the help of person, an external person. No? In this case, they are working with a corrupt lawyer also. So these are possibilities, but it could also be possible that uh, they would be able to, knowing that they know the secret, they can use this as a leverage in order to ask money, extort money, and ask for pardon, right? If, for example, Lake will be the president. So these are the possibilities, no? Again, it is clear, even if I'll not finish reading this, but I finished reading the novel, the question really is, what is Lake hiding? What is he hiding? What is his connection with the brethren? No? The brethren are the judges. And what will happen to Lake? Will he win the presidency? I think he will win the presidency with the CIA backing him up. But I'm not just sure what will happen to the judges. Initially, I was thinking that they will be assassinated. The judges will be terminated by the CIA. They're entering into a very serious case in terms of messing up with someone who is running for presidency, and that is something that that can cost their lives, right? Not only bankers or ordinary homosexuals, but they're already dealing with someone who will be the next president. The book review. So I hope you found my insights, my review, my critique interesting. So if you like the blog, so please like, subscribe, comment, and then please do share this blog uh, to others. No? So I will be still doing a lot of book reviews and reaction videos, the teaching of writing soon. And that, of course, now that it's pandemic, it's good to read and share what we read to our students and to other people. So please do continue to watch my blogs. Please do continue to support me. And with your subscription, please click the bell also. Do you see this red button? Click the red button, then there's bell so that you will be notified. Bye bye.